All righty, welcome to today's math lesson. Today's math lesson is called Place the First Digit. So please take out your math notebook, turn to your next available page, and write that at the top. Place the first digit. Okay, so we've already learned the steps to long division. Let's go ahead and go over those again. It's dirty, monkeys, smell, crazy, bad. And that stands for divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down. Then you go back to divide, and after you've cycled through that as many times as you need to until there's nothing left to bring down, you write your remainder if there is one. Okay, now we've learned that in division problems like this, let's say we had 872 divided by 7. We start by dividing, and we divide the divisor directly into the first digit of the dividend. So 7 fits into 8 once. 1 times 7 is 7. 8 minus 7 is 1. We're going through the steps here. We divided, then we multiplied. 1 times 7 is 7. Then we subtracted. 8 minus 7 is 1. Now we compare. 1 is smaller than 7, so we bring down. Now we go back to divide. 7 can fit into 17. How many times? Well, 7 times 2 is 14. And 7 times 3 is 21. That's too big, so we go back to 7 times 2. So 7 can fit into 17 2 times. Now 2 times 7 is 14. 17 minus 14 is 3. We compare. 3 is smaller than 7. We bring down the 2. Now we go back to divide. How many times can 7 fit into 32? Well, 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. That's too big, so we go back to 7 times 4. So 7 can fit into 32 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. 32 minus 28 is 4. There's nothing left to bring down, so we write our remainder. 124, remainder 4. So there's a little review of the last couple lessons. But what happens when you're in a situation, let's say we're in a situation like this. 567 divided by 6. We know 567 is a much bigger number than 6. So we know we can fit 6 into 567. But the question is, we can't fit 6 into 5. So what do? Are we stuck? We can't fit 6 into 5. So how do we do this first step divide? And here's the answer. You put 6 into the first 2 digits. So you can't fit 6 into the first digit, so you put it all the way into 57, and then your answer, when you write it, goes above the 7 because you're going all the way into that 7. So this is a little bit harder. It's easy when you're putting a 1-digit number into a 1-digit number. Normally it'll fit in 1 or 2 times. But now we're putting a 1-digit number straight into a 2-digit number. So we have to use our times tables. Now let's say you don't know what times 6 gets closest to 57 without going over. Here's how you'd use a times table chart. You're going to want your times table chart. You're going to want a nice times table chart on this lesson. So make sure you make your nice times table chart that looks just like this. Now, how can we use this to find out how many times 6 can fit into 57? Let's say you don't have all your times tables memorized. How can we use this to find the answer? Okay, we're trying to put 6 into 57. Whatever this number is, find it along the side here. So this is a 6. So we found 6 right here. Now we go over this way until we get as close as we can to this number, 57, what we're going into without going over. So we're at 6. We keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Look, 6 times 9 is 54. 6 times 10 is 60. That's too big. So it's 6 times 9. See, you start at 6. You keep going until you get as close to 57 as you can without going over. That's 54. And then you go up. That's how many times 6 can fit into 57. So we don't put the 9. We do not put the 9 right here. If we put the 9 there, we're saying 6 can fit into 5 9 times, and that's not true. So we don't put it there. Instead, we put it here because we're not saying 6 can fit into 5 9 times. We're saying 6 can fit into 57 9 times. So the answer has to go all the way at the end of 57. Okay, so we just divided. Now we multiply. 9 times 6 is 54. Now we subtract. 57 minus 54 is 3. Now we compare. 3 is smaller than 6. Now we bring down the 6 next to the 3. Now we go back to divide, and we're dividing 6 into 36. Now let's say you don't know how many times 6 can fit into 36. How do you use a times table chart for that? You start at 6. You get as close to 36 as you can without going over. In this case, we can go right to 36. Then we go up. So 6 can fit into 36 6 times. Okay, we just divided. Now we multiply. 6 times 6 is 36. Now we subtract. 36 minus 36 equals 0. Okay, now we compare. 0 is smaller than 36. There's nothing left to bring down, so we're finished. There's no remainder to write. The answer is 96. Should have circled this answer too to stay consistent. Okay, let's do another example together. Let's say we have 217 divided by 4. Again, we're in the same situation. We know we start with division, but we can't fit 4 into 2. So what do? We put 4 all the way into 21. We're putting it all the way into 21. So that means the answer isn't going to go above the 2. It's going to go above the 1. Now we have to use our times tables to decide how many times 4 can go into 21. And if you don't know how to do that, I already showed you how to use a times table chart doing it. But what you're trying to find out is what times 4 gets us closest to 21 without going over. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. That's too big, so we go back to 5. 4 can fit into 21 5 times. And the answer goes above the 1 in 21 because we're going all the way into 21. Now we multiply. 5 times 4 is 20. Now we subtract. 21 minus 20 is 1. Now we compare. Is 1 smaller than 4? Yes. Now we bring down the 7. Now we go back to divide. Now we're dividing 4 into 17. So again, we're trying to think what times 4 gets us closest to 17 without going over. The answer is 4 because 4 times 4 is 16. That gets us closest to 17. 4 can fit into 17 4 times. Now we multiply. 4 times 4 is 16. Now we subtract. 17 minus 16 is 1. Now we compare. 1 is smaller than 4. The next step is bring down, but there's nothing left to bring down. So we write our remainder 1. Okay. Now I'm going to give you your independent practice, okay? So these are the problems I'd like you to do for your independent practice. I'd like you to do 274 divided by 4. And I'd like you to do 4,527 divided by 6. Now, in both of these cases, you start with the step divide, but you can't fit the divisor into the first digit of the dividend. Here, because you can't fit 4 into 2, and here, because you can't fit 6 into 4. So what do you do in a situation like that? Remember, you put 4 all the way into 27 to start with, and you put 6 all the way into 45 to start with. Go ahead and do your best on those 2 long division problems independently, and then click on the next video under this one to see if you got it right. And I will catch you next time. Signing off.